All right, today on Climb Questions, we got Evan St. Clair here with me. How you doing today?
I'm good.
You just turned 50 back in September,
Yep.
and every month you did a new challenge.
I did.
What was that all about, and what'd you do?
Man, I did so much, it's like hard to even like process it all. I just got a few older friends that kind of all seem to say the same things. Like, once you turn 50, you kind of are where you are, and it's like really difficult to get fit or lose weight or make gains. It takes like tremendous amount more work than when we were younger, and I just kind of been going through
Heads up. Morning.
the biker game.
It is.
Anyway, it's like I've just been doing all kinds of things my whole life, and kind of depressed a little bit about maybe possibly having to give some of those things up. And so I kind of set out on the journey to hit some bucket list things that I've never done, as well as try to focus on getting myself into better mental and physical health to enjoy my 50s and not let it be a downer. And so I started off, the first thing I did was a 200-mile, one push ride
Hold
from
up.
my place to the Atlantic Ocean out in Cherry Grove. And then, so every month I just did like a big bike ride. And then obviously, you know, Chad, February we did a pretty sick trip to
All right.
BC to go snowboarding.
Morning. Howdy.
What's up?
Morning.
And so, let's see. Yeah, nothing really to speak of throughout the summer. Just a couple of the months I was doing training rides for the PNGA, where I was doing overnight camping. Did one that was really hard. It was 280 miles, 3 days, and just trying to get my rig set for the Trans-North Georgia Epic.
Right. What was your rig?
So I tried a couple different things, but where I ended up was a Salsa, Timberjack, titanium, hardtail frame.
What would you do differently for that race?
I think going into it, knowing that you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, you end up packing a lot of things that you fear.
Right.
Like being cold or being comfortable. The reality of it is I took way too much shit.
Right.
I mean, honestly. And
So pack too much.
packed too much. Like I don't think, obviously it depends on the weather. This year was warm, so I never even used my rain jacket.
Right.
Don't really know that I need a sleep kit. You're so tired when you finally get off the bike. You just, I mean, I saw a dude sleeping on gravel. You can just literally lay down anywhere. If I go back, I would definitely ride my Epic full suspension.
Yeah.
And I would just travel.
Yoo-hoo, coming in hot.
And if I have a major mechanical, I would just scratch, because I finished it and had a successful, journey.
Right.
So I think if I were to ever go back, I would just go back to set the ultimate, how fast can I possibly do it? But who knows, because it's the mountains. Like, I could plan all that next year. Look at the 50 degrees and the rain.
Yeah, true. North Georgia in the summertime. Rain, yeah. Cold, probably not. But you never know. Sweat, 100%. Well, how and when and why did you get into mountain biking?
Oh, man.
Quick answer.
Oh, shit, quick. Okay, fast.
2 words.
Basically,
No, I'm just kidding.
Went into a bike shop. I rode BMX. I think I went into the bike shop to get a chain or a tube or something for my BMX bike, and saw a mountain bike in the window. Kind of got involved, and I think you and I started talking about it. Maybe we even went back to the bike shop
We did.
and looked at some bikes, and it just, I knew I needed one,
Yeah.
because it just seemed like, oh, there's this all-terrain bike that I can escape the BMX track
Right.
and go explore. And it just seemed like a cool way to just escape and get away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I saw. It was like an off-road BMX bike
And I was thinking,
with gears.
yeah,
And those,
sure.
that was 91 or 2.
I was thinking 91, maybe. Fall of 91.
Yeah, somewhere in there. But it was just like, man, I can go ride out in the woods on these things, which, you know, the BMX bike didn't like to ride out through the woods. And not long after that, I guess, you probably started working in shops and racing. When did
Yeah.
when did that start?
So, probably 6 months after I got into riding, because the reality of it was, I think just being a BMXer, and I don't know, I always come back to skateboarding. I broke a lot of stuff and
Heads up.
had very little money.
Rider up.
Quickly needed to learn how to fix my own stuff because I
Right.
couldn't afford to pay the shop. So I think I was driving the guy at the shop crazy.
What
going
shop
in.
was this?
It was Cool Breeze Cyclery.
Okay.
And so that next summer, I guess that was 92, I was offered a job down in Mooresville, working with Jeff Archer. And yeah, I stayed there for a long time. I think maybe the spring of 96,
Right.
95 or 96, I can't remember honestly.
Yeah. Well, what kind of racing were you doing back then? Just mountain bike racing, or
yeah,
you
just
road
cross-
riding? What were you doing?
Cross country, I was doing a little bit of road riding. Mainly just cross country.
Bike up.
Cross country stuff. And, crazy, I never thought that the mountain bikers would be the minority in Wilson's Creek. It looks like
I know, isn't it?
gravel has taken over.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Dirt road bikes.
road bikes. So, yeah, mainly just cross country throughout the 90s. And then, 99, I got heavily into road racing.
Right.
And I really enjoyed the road racing more than mountain bike racing. Just for the simple fact that you could always see the race going on around you. And there was a lot of like chess games and
Right.
reading the other riders. I really enjoyed that. I felt like mountain bike racing was always just such a suffer.
Well, it's really
It turns
just,
into a time trial.
it's just time trial.
And you just ride on the limit all the time.
Yeah.
Where with the road bike, there's so many more factors as far as like drafting and positioning and
Right.
playing your car.
Well, like I said, you feel like you're participating more in an actual race.
Yeah, for sure. So I fell in love with that and just could not get enough of it.
Nice. Okay, so racing took you really through 2000, 99.
Started road racing, I can't remember, man, 98 or 99.
Yeah.
And in 2004, I had been working really hard to get super fit.
Yeah.
Was on a new team for road racing and went out and did a few races and just was dead flat, had nothing. And ended up going to the doctor and finding out that I had Crohn's disease.
2004.
2004.
Okay.
And the doctor told me to stop riding. They put me on all kinds of medicines, caused me to gain a bunch of weight.
Right.
I got super depressed. They told me not to ride, that it would cause the flare-ups to get worse.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't ride my bike essentially from 2004 or 5 till 2010.
Oh, wow.
And
Well, during that time, you did some skateboarding during that time.
I did some skateboard racing.
Yeah, you guys formed the Downhill Billies, right?
That is correct, yep.
What year was that?
05.
Okay.
And so we did a bunch of skateboard racing, just all kind of longboarding, bombing hills, just anything we could do to just just go rip. And that was a wonderful part of my life.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was super fun.
Yeah, you guys had like legit races going on.
Yep, we hosted World Championships in 2007. Met some incredible people from all around the world. Super good friends that I actually still, even though I don't really skate anymore, I still stay in touch with them.
Yeah.
And it was a moment in time that I'm super thankful for, and I would never want to change it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with these, that I've found with these activities, you know, whether it's mountain biking or skateboarding or just cycling in general or snowboarding or
Yep.
climbing, whatever, is you tend to meet people that become your friends more so than acquaintances.
For sure, it's like-minded people out wanting to do, have it, sharing passion for something.
Yeah. Bike's up.
I think we're going the wrong way.
I think we are going the wrong way. Our bike, we're on the big bikes going the wrong direction. Morning.
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach. Slippery, wind wet.
So anyway, the skateboard thing was awesome, and I
Well, what, without, not to interrupt, but the Crohn's,
yep,
you're now back on the bike for years. How is that going? What have you been doing?
I've had it in remission since I got back on my bike.
Okay.
I've not taken any medicine or had any flare up since 2002.
Oh, nice.
And I contributed to constant kind of just riding my bike all the time. My body's constantly recovering from the efforts that I put in on the bike. So I feel like it suppresses my immune system, which, if you don't know, Crohn's is an autoimmune disease where it attacks your intestines.
Right.
So I kind of felt like, well, if I'm just constantly kicking the crap out of myself,
Right.
and I'm recovering from that, and it doesn't give my
Does it give
immune
your,
system a chance to attack my colon.
right.
Every doctor I've ever told that thinks I'm crazy.
Really? But it's working. Whatever you're doing is working for you.
Maybe it's just a mindset. I just willed it away.
Right.
I don't know. It sounds hokey, but I'm doing this cryotherapy every day now. Been doing it for about 2 months. I go get in a cryo chamber for 3 minutes. It's 265 degrees below zero.
Wow.
Stay in it for 3 minutes.
Whew.
And it reduces inflammation. It's
Yeah.
literally made me feel 15 years younger.
Wow.
I'm addicted to it.
Yeah.
But so I think stressing your body in certain situations is definitely a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm stressing mine right now. Okay, so you learn how to battle your Crohn's disease that you know is always there, and you know that you always have to battle. But then what came in?
I quit my job. I was just over it.
Right.
I didn't want to do it anymore, and I got out of that situation. And honestly, took about 2 years and just really didn't do much of anything.
Well, you were
except
doing
ride my bike.
you were doing photography during that
Doing
time.
some photography. I was helping a friend with some events. Neil Boyd, helping him out with races on the weekend, and
Right.
I just was riding crazy miles, and I kind of felt like I got cheated with my road racing, and I wanted to kind of go back and get some personal redemption to see how fit I could get. And I worked really hard for about 3 years at it and kind of got what I wanted out of it. And then at that point, took a job at the shop for the summer to help my buddy out, who
And this is the psychopath?
is a psychopath. Yeah, he was in a jam, needed some help, and I thought that it was just going to be a temporary thing. And I got to Cornelius and realized that I loved the community so much that I didn't think I was going to be able to leave the community. I saw a lot of potential with the shop, and so at that point I stayed on, and then in 2018, I got a job offer in the industry and was going to leave, and at that point Mark wanted me to stay, so he made me partner in the shop.
Nice.
And so and at that point road racing was behind. My older son Nathan was racing a lot of downhill.
Oh, right.
And I wanted to get into some trail building, so that was when 2018 was when I started building Cedar Valley.
What did you find you liked about that? I mean, it's a lot of work.
Oh man.
Especially if you're doing a solo slash volunteer slash volunteers.
You know, it is, but like, I go back to skateboarding again. Like, you go to a concrete park and every inch of the park is completely thought out of how to skate it. And
Bike's up.
the thing that I found
Morning.
was
Howdy.
the thing that I found with that was like, I wanted to build some mountain bike trails. I didn't care how long or short they were. I just wanted every single inch of those trails to be designed to enjoy. Where a lot of those trails, you go ride 2 miles, a decent trail, and then you get to a feature.
Right.
And it's like the iconic feature.
Right.
I wanted to make the whole trail the iconic feature.
Right.
Where basically
More features, more things to look forward to
yeah, it's just like,
in your ride.
and I don't care if it's only 2 miles. I'll make 10 laps on it.
Yes.
Where you go ride another trail, you know, and maybe ride 10 miles and have 5 features.
Right.
Which is not a bad thing.
Right.
Because I still appreciate just going out and pedaling my bike. So
Yes.
I don't always want to ride Cedar Valley. I enjoy it, but sometimes I like a good Lake Norman State Park or
Yeah.
Whitewater Center Rip where I just go grind my miles away.
Well, that's the beauty of bicycling. It's
It
just
is.
there's all kinds of bikes and
I think
all
that's
kinds of
what's-
different rides.
I think that's what's kept me in it for as long as I have is, you know, I have gravel bike, I have a road bike, I have a couple mountain bikes. And through the seasons, I generally do different things.
Right. Morning.
Ooh,
It's busy.
we gotta get gravel bikes. We're behind the time.
Man. Well, we are going the wrong way. Right now. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it in a nutshell, really.
Yeah, so you got Cedar Valley going on, and that's constant upkeep,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
more so than a regular cross-country trail.
Yeah, because I mean the jumps just are constantly deteriorating, and then you know the more the trail gets ridden, the more maintenance is involved. Freestall in the wintertime.
Yeah.
So you know, about every 18 months, each section of the trail has to be rebuilt
Yeah.
and reshaped up.
It seems to have caught on and been pretty popular. I like riding it. And that's like my entryway to leaving the ground was there.
I was super honored that all the trails in Charlotte got reviewed and Cedar Valley was voted #1 trail, and that's obviously just one person's opinion.
Right.
But even if it's just one person's opinion, it meant a lot to me to hear that. And
Yeah.
but I think the thing that I like the most is when I go out and I see a bunch of 10, 11, 12-year-old kids ripping and hooting and hollering and like having a good time. That is like probably the best part about it for me,
Yeah.
is to just know like I built something for kids to enjoy, to get them off their phones, to get them outside,
Yeah.
get them active, and have something that they can progress on with their mountain biking rather than just going riding a lap at some
Yeah.
XC trail. Because
Well, that's the way we started.
Kids don't want to do that.
Yeah. Well, and we started, you know, from skateboarding and BMX, and then we just went straight to, it was just cross country.
Yep.
You're riding cow trails and old hiking trails.
We
And
still went to Love Valley and rode the gnarliest horse trails we could find. We weren't going very fast or ripping.
yeah. Well, and it was so different back then compared to what it is now.
I just remember riding down these steep chutes and it's like, what in the world?
Just rutted out with horse tracks and mud.
Probably a little horse manure.
There's some manure. You might have had some grip in the manure. Well, cool, man. What do you got going on nowadays, and what's your future look like? You know, a year or two out. What are you doing? What are you into? How's the shop?
Shop's really good. We've done really well over the last few years. I think all shops are a little on the edge right now with the massive over inventory that all the bike companies have. And
right.
it's real scary with inventory, but I just have to keep having a positive attitude about it and really work hard for the customers to take care of them so they'll, you know, continue to support the shop. And I just try to treat everyone that comes in the shop like if I was the guy walking through the door, how would I want to be taken care of? Right. And we got the best staff we've ever had. Nice. Like, we couldn't have better employees. Oh, that's good. And so thankful for that, because that's such an important part of a successful business. For me personally, the future for me, I'm sure that my gnarly downhill days are starting to fade into the rearview mirror. Right. Obviously I'll still go ride, but my days of pushing it are starting to slow down. Yeah, me too. And I'm really starting to get more into these ultra rides and just kind of soul searching rides. The bike packing thing is super sick. Yeah. Just going out and morning. And just kind of being out. Yeah. And so I think for me, I'm going to move back into doing more of the long endurance stuff. Yeah. I'll still keep my trail bike, and maybe I'll keep a downhill bike. I'm not sure yet. Yeah. But, you know, the flip of the coin, I just built up a brand new skateboard. I went and did 50 kick turns for my 50th birthday. Awesome. Which was a joke. Hey, you know, skating is skating. When you get to be 50, it's just skateboarding. I'm a far cry away from Eastern birthdays. Oh yeah, well. Or the Pines days. Everybody is. And from that era. It's a little bit humbling, but the concrete's scary, man. Yeah. But I really enjoyed just rolling through some turns. Well, it's like all this stuff, you know, the mountain biking, skating, snowboarding, whatever, surfing. I think especially for me, when I got over 50, I have to look at it differently. You want to push yourself, but you need to know those limits. And sometimes you can go past those limits, but sometimes you need to be happy, you know, back away from those limits. I mean, live to ride another day, man. Like, yes. I think far back. Super important to stay within yourself. I think they say the first 50 years are your physical years, and then the second part of your life is your spiritual years, and I think that's so true, man. Right. One thing I'm learning as a coach, you know, I think you know I coach mountain bikes. Oh, that's right. We didn't touch that. That's okay. Yeah. Work with a lot of athletes, and one thing that I really find that helps any of the athletes that I work with is the mental side of things. It's like the TMGA. Right. I didn't finish that race because I was physically strong. I finished that race because I was too hard-headed to mentally quit. Right. And I just stayed at it. Right. And, you know, like, Jesse Davis said it, oh, we have these functions. And I was like, what are you talking about? And like, I saw it in the race. Like, we have these barbaric functions that will start turning on that are dormant, that we are actually capable of a lot of great things that we don't even realize we're capable of. And it's kind of sad that it took me to 50 to experience that for the first time. Right. Because, dude, I turned myself inside out in that bike race. And honestly, most people out there that were doing it were experiencing the same thing, man. Yeah. Well, I think at some point that is what the experience you're looking for. It was exactly the journey. Get to the other side, so to speak. for sure. And like, so you come away from something like that, and my hands are still numb, and you know, my sit bones are destroyed. I actually had like night sweats for 2 days, like ran a low grade. I was having like, yeah, like a few days after I got home, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't really eat. I could only sleep like 2 hours at a time. Like, it was like these functions were still turned on.
Right.
And I couldn't get away from it. And then all of a sudden, like, my body went through this like detox. My knees swole up, my ankles were like 3 times their normal size, and then
Jeez.
then I like sweated for like 6 hours in the bed, man, like super sick. It was like all this toxic waste was coming out of my body. Like, I guess it was lactic acid buildup or something.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a doctor, I don't know, man, but like, and then I actually got back on a sleep pattern and started to feel somewhat normal again. But yeah, it's we're capable of some serious shit.
More than you
human
think.
beings, man.
More than we
Way
think.
more, dude. Way more.
Yeah.
I was physically destroyed in Vogel, and I think that was 117 miles in.
Right, and this is a 350-mile race, correct? Or
365.
365.
I mean, whatever. But
Yeah, still.
But here's the thing. Claim 56,000 feet of climbing.
Wow.
So
56,000.
dude, it's just like, it just never lets up.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like, I literally rolled into Mulberry Gap, and I told my buddy Jess, I was like, dude, I'm done. I can't finish this. I was like, I gotta get some sleep.
Yeah.
And I laid down to go to sleep, and he's like, I think I'm done. Slept 2 hours. Jesse woke me up, had me 32 ounces of Pedialyte, 3 steak and egg burritos. I crammed all that in, got my bike, sit on the bike. As soon as I sit on the seat, it felt like nails going in my hip bones.
Oh.
I rolled out of Mulberry Gap and went, dude, I can't go 2 miles.
Right.
I'm done. And then it was just like, the body just said, oh, okay.
This is what we're doing.
Guess we're gonna keep going.
Yeah.
And then all the receptors just turned off, and I just rolled on. And honestly, my best day on the bike, the best I rode, was the last day.
Wow.
I got stronger.
Oh, wow.
And I just think that my mental attitude was just getting better
Right.
through the race. The overwhelming part of how hard it was kind of numb
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah. Well, and your body for so long had just gone like, this is what we're doing. I don't have anything else to do. I have to live with it.
It's either that or quit.
Yeah.
I mean, there again, not to keep quoting Jesse, but he's done a lot of these races. He's rode 12,000 miles this year. I have nothing but the utmost respect for the dude and how much time he dedicates to it.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, at some point, you got 3 choices. You can quit, you can keep fighting it mentally and let it drive you crazy, or you can just submit to it and
Right.
let it be what it is.
Right.
And dude, it's pretty true about it. I mean, because you just, there's no way to get through a race that hard and not just be, I'm sure there's a few guys that are just so fit
Yeah.
that they can just go out there and knock it right out, no problem. I mean, Jesse did good. Dude, we got to finish. He looked like he could go back to Mulberry Gap. And like, I got there and I was just like,
You're done.
I'm just like over it.
Yeah.
I got off and kissed the ground. And I was like, please get me off this bike.
Yeah.
I don't see
Well,
anymore.
and there's that reward at the end too, where you're like, get to the end and then it's done.
Yeah, for sure. What's the old saying, like, horse headed to the barn? Like, I mean, there's some of that for sure.
Yeah.
My mind was just like, get us out of this torture device
Yeah.
and get it over with.
Yep.
But it was a cool experience, and I think it's been a key piece in shaping my future with bike riding and living my life. I went out there with a lot of fears. It takes a lot to admit it on camera. Like, I was afraid of being out in the wilderness at night by myself.
Right.
In the dark. I was afraid of rattlesnakes. I was afraid of all these things. And it was so funny. I get out there, and the things that slapped me in the face were not at all the things that was in my imagination of what was going to be difficult.
Right.
I walked up on a mountain lion.
Oh, geez.
Dude, it was like 40 yards from me. And I didn't even panic. I just started screaming at it.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, get out of here. You know, it's like, and probably the worst, the worst experience of the whole thing. We were hiking the snake, and I guess I kicked a rock and stirred up a hornet's nest.
Oh.
And I got three, let's see, I got 3 on my right foot, the back of my leg around my ankle, and 4 or 5 on my left foot.
Jeez.
And dude, I thought I'd been stung by some hornets, but the truth is, I've never been stung by hornets.
Right.
It was
gnarly.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It hurt so bad that I could feel it in my head.
Ugh.
Like it started making me have like a pounding headache.
Yeah.
And
jeez.
You know, so I got through that. We get on, finished the hike-a-bike. It was like 6 hours hike-a-bike. And it was funny. After I got stung, it kind of sucked the wind out of me. And Jesse was kind of gone away. And I was so angry over the bee stings. We hit this gnarly downhill, and I was so over the whole thing, over the hike-a-bike, over the bee stings, over my ass hurting, that I literally tried to break the bike on the downhill. I was just like, if I smash this bike, I won't have to ride it anymore. Jesse said he thought he saw me coming. They stopped, and he said he thought I fell asleep on the bike. Like, I was going so fast. He's like, I thought he went to sleep. Or, like somebody,
Ghost Rider.
Something bad had happened. Because I was just like over it.
Oh my God.
Get to where we're camping. Literally sat down, took all my clothes off, and sat right down in a freaking fire ant nest.
Oh.
And probably had 300 bites on my feet and legs and crotch.
Oh my God.
Destroyed me, man. And I think that was probably the all-time low for me through the race.
Yeah, I mean, what else? Did you get hit by a car? Like, holy mackerel.
That was the
hornets, ants.
That was the end. I laid down, slept for an hour and a half, and just got up, and I was just like, I was so just, part of me was just angry. I just like, I don't know. I just went for it the next day. I just got up and was like, I'm going to finish whatever.
Right.
I'm not spending another night out here. I'm gonna hammer all day until I fall over dead, or I'm getting to the finish. I don't want to spend another night. I'm over it. I'm ready to go home. And I just stayed at it the whole day.
And you finished?
Yep.
Damn. Well, congratulations on that.
3 days, 15 hours, 13 minutes, 19th overall, which was honestly, I originally had said I wanted to do top 20 based on Jesse. He finished 10th last year, and I was basing it kind of on that and his time. Well, he rode, I believe, about 4 hours faster this year and finished 16th. So there was definitely some faster guys there this year. So the reality of it is my goal was to finish it in like 4 days, 4 to 5 days. There was a little bit of talk about 5 days to finish it.
Right.
And then, so I way succeeded, even though in the placement, I barely nipped the top 20, but the time-wise, I was really a day to day and a half faster than what I had in my original goal set. So I think for me, it was a complete success.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for more.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for doing climb questions. We're gonna drop in and do some riding.
No descending comments?
No. Those are hoots and hollers, or are you okay?
Hoots and hollers. No,